Guys, someone recently requested a phone modeling tutorial, so I'm gonna be making an imaginary iPhone 12. So I'm just gonna start with the cube and make a basic shape for the phone. Since it's a concept art rather than an existing phone, so I'm just gonna rely on my imagination and try to make it as iPhone-ish as possible. I don't know. I'm just gonna start by making the corner around it, and probably I'm gonna bevel those edges as well. Actually, I'm just gonna select all of them, but won't allow me to select those edge loops, so let's just extrude it one time. And now I can select them. So apply a little bit of bevel with segments. There we go. I'm just gonna scale it up and make it, actually I'm just gonna delete it. And again, I'm gonna select those two edge loops and extrude it and add some offset. And extrude it again. Actually, I rather use fill hole. You can find it under mesh. And you can just do it one by one. And hit G to repeat it. And now I'm going to separate those two surfaces to make back glass panel and the front display panel. It's actually faster to inverse selection, so I'm just gonna select those parts 1, 2, 3, and it's gonna inverse selection, and you can go to edit mesh and detach. Now we got 3 pieces in total. Oh, I didn't really separate it, so if you separate it, we got 3 pieces now. So it's time to soften edges so it's more smooth. Now I'm just gonna start to applying materials for these. Maybe after I add more details to the frame. So in order to create something like power button or volume button and the charging I don't know, charging port or any holes on the surface, there's many ways to do it, but I'm gonna use Boolean. That should be the best. So I'm just gonna make a button shape. Again, I'm gonna start with the cube and just select everything and make it slimmer. So again, it's good to bevel those to make it more iPhone-ish. Something like that, and again I can just select the face and bevel. Probably I'm gonna make it something like that. And let's create a material this time because I want some different finishes for the edges and the actual button. So I'm just gonna call it AI paint and make it whatever color you want. Probably I'm gonna go with space gray. And for the edge, I'm just gonna use different finish by applying another material, and this time I'm just gonna call it AI chrome or very shiny metal. So we got two distinctive materials, and you can actually do the same to the body. And we got that. Now I'm just gonna put it somewhere appropriate, probably a bit smaller. Now for the volume button, I'm just going to use the same object but probably a little shorter. Something like that, and just put it on the surface and duplicate it and put another one on the bottom. And probably I have to make a mute switch here, and I'm going to use Boolean for that as well, so probably another cube. And yeah, again, I'm just gonna make a simple shape just for the Boolean. So another bevel, make it rounded, something like that, and just scale it down. Make sure it resets into the surface, and that should work. Something like that. It should overlap so the Boolean operation will work. So if I go to the outliner, now it's time to maybe group them all. Group, and I'm just going to duplicate and duplicate the body as well. So I got another one. By the way, I'm just going to delete the history of all objects in the scene. And now I'm going to grab one group. Probably I'm just going to hide the original group for the backup, and I'm just going to combine all of them. And now I can select the body and the buttons and the objects for the exclusion. And if I go to the booleans, you're gonna see difference. So if I try it, you're gonna see these holes ready to be removed. If I look at it, yeah, it actually did a good job. It hasn't got a perfect topology, but it's just a simple concept art, so I'm just gonna ignore that problem. So I'm just gonna select everything again and just delete history to clean that up. And now I can show my backup objects. There we go. And now I'm just gonna make a new switch, something like that. Actually, it's a better idea to turn on the wireframe view to just recognize those holes. It's really hard to see here, actually. Actually, I should hide the original body mesh, and this should work. Now I'm just gonna put a mute switch, something like that. Probably too long. I don't really remember how it looked like, but I'm just gonna do it something like this. Seems to be okay. I just want to raise it a little bit. I think it's too big. I just do that and make it a bit taller, and this will work. Probably I'm gonna do the same fill hole operation here. Fill hole, that's it. And assign the material. Alright. And for the ports and the speaker holes and things like that, again, you can use the same Boolean technique. I'm just gonna create some shapes for the Boolean, actually. Actually, you could do this all at once, but yeah, my bad. So I'm just gonna get something like that. Make sure it overlaps again. And I'm just gonna grab a cylinder. There we go. And make it something like that. Get a proper size and make sure it overlaps again. And if I just copy this multiple times, probably it's too big. It should have something like 6 holes, 7 holes, I don't know. Maybe you could use some reference for this, but I just wanna make this super simple, so yeah. 6, 7, yeah, this should be okay. I'm just gonna go with 6. You can just duplicate them and put it on the other side. If you want a super precise placements, you can just group them all and mirror it or something like that. There are multiple options for that. And I'm just gonna combine them again. And you can just select the body and the mesh objects that we just created and just do exclusion again. Actually, I'm not really sure what's wrong with it. Yeah, we should delete history before we go. So if I do Boolean again, not really sure why I don't see any holes. Yeah, it's now overlapping as actually. Oops. So if I do it again, now it's working. So probably I should delete all of them. You can just select similar and delete them. Alright, now we got the frame ready. Just gonna grab that, and I'm not really sure how it looks like exactly, but I'm just gonna try my best. I just extrude it in, and probably that's all, as I remember. Apply a bit bevel there. So bottom detailing is done. Probably you can add microphone hole here and there, and 2 screws there using the same technique, but I'm not gonna do that here because yeah, I just want to make it simple. So next, the screen. For the screen, I can actually go notchless, so I'm just gonna apply a material for the glass, and for the back another material is also glass. Just do it like that and make it white to make it distinctive. Now we got that. And I already told you that I'm just gonna go make it notchless. So let me show you how I'm gonna make the actual display look like it's working. So I'm just gonna make the screen area like that. You might want a bit more slimmer bezel. Actually, let me just do it all over again. Delete that and extrude. If you press T, you're gonna see these options, and you can just add a little bit of offset like that and fill hole again. This is it. So yep, for the back panel I'm just gonna select those loops and I'm just gonna do fill hole and select that and detach the one I selected, and we can actually separate them again. Separate it again. So now we got that. Actually, I'm gonna use some texture for this, and it should be facing this direction. So what we can do is we can actually reverse it under the mesh display. Now we're gonna see this turn black, but that's perfectly normal. It should be white on the other side. Alright, so it seems like modeling's done, basically. Yeah. So now I'm gonna start to shade it. We already assigned multiple materials on this, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna create a very simple lighting, studio lighting. So before we go, I'm just gonna turn on all of these options on the viewport to make it look better. And if you just create a skyline light, and if you go to the attribute editor, you're gonna see color. And I'm just gonna make a procedural studio environment lighting, environment texture, and you can actually do that by using the ramp texture, and I'm just gonna use diagonal ramp, and maybe you can add some noise like that. If you want more smoother edge, maybe you can go with circular ramp. You can just find what works the best. So after I'm done with it, I don't really want to see this on the camera, so I'm just gonna turn off the camera visibility and the viewport visibility, so it will now appear on the viewport or in the render view, but it will be visible in the reflections and yeah, any other attributes you got here. So it should be perfectly fine. You can do some post-production in Photoshop, and this is good basically. So I'm just gonna select the glass panel, and for this I actually want it to be black. I actually already turned off the base weight, so don't worry about color, and the thing we should worry about is the roughness. I'm just gonna lower down the roughness so we got very sharp reflections there. Now for the frame, actually I just applied the same material as the body. So for the frame, you can choose whatever color you want. For example, let's make it a bit unique, or just gray. Or you can just go crazy like pink. And roughness, and metalness is the key here. I'm just gonna make it a bit metallic. I think it's a trend to make the body super glossy these days, so I'm just gonna make it glossy like that. And if you want something like stainless steel material, you can actually go select Chrome preset, and you're gonna see this very reflective material, and probably you can darken it a little bit. That's basically how it works. Alright, actually I'm just gonna go to the outliner again. Actually the light is too dim, so I'm just gonna increase the intensity so we see things better. And there we go. Maybe I can change the background color by pressing Alt and B. That's good. Now for the back panel, I'm just gonna assign a new material and another AI standard surface, and you can choose glass preset, but it's not transparent at the moment. That's because the viewport setting is wrong, and again, if you want it to be transparent, the final render view, you should turn off opaque. And yeah, if you want to see it in the viewport, you can just go to hardware render 2.0 settings and change the transparency algorithm to alpha cut, but it won't show you the actual reflection of the surface, so it's a bit of a trade-off really. So for the inner glass, there's gotta be some painting, so I'm just gonna make it black as well, bit light gray, dark gray. That should work. I just hit the glass, but I'm not really sure where it is. My organization skill is so bad. Sorry about that. Not really sure. Probably I just deleted it. Just go back a little bit. This is really stupid. Alright. I'm just gonna delete history and hide it for a while. Assign new material and make it gray and do that. And now I'm just gonna turn on the screen by assigning new material to the central face area. And what you can do is basically turn off the base as well as you did to the screen and remove the roughness, but you can add emission here and do that. And if you want something to be on the screen, you can actually assign a texture to that emission color. And I'm just gonna put something like this. And when you do it, if it doesn't appear, maybe that's because of the UV mapping problem. So you can just unwrap it. There's an automatic unwrap option there. So if you go there, you can actually scale it down or reshape it to fit it in, keeping the aspect ratio of the original image. So now we got that. Actually, I don't like the photo, so I'm just gonna change it real quick. Or if if you want to animate the texture, I got a better idea actually. Probably you can add a ramp shader, and this is pretty good for making some sort of abstract wallpapers. You can add noise like that, probably circular to make it smoother like that, and you can add some hue noise to make it more vibrant. So that's one way to go. If you key some of those values, it will animate. And let me just make it a bit darker. Yeah, something like that. And I'm just gonna key this value, for example, from 0.6 to 0.1. So if you run the animation, you will see something like this. And maybe you can make it a bit slower. Yeah. Okay, and for the Apple logo and the iPhone text on the back, probably you should use Photoshop. So I'm just going to open up a new image. Probably just a square grid. And you can actually Google images to find the logo. So I'm just going to search for Apple logo. And here I got it already. So I'm just going to copy image and paste it here. It's not working for some reason. Try another one. It's terrible. I probably should download the image. So I'm just going to download the image and open. If I just open this file, oh, that's an SVG file. That's not what I want. It's really hard to find some decent ones sometimes. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with that one. And probably I can try copying this image. Oh, finally worked. And now what I'm gonna do is basically place it in the middle. And I'm just gonna use this for the roughness map. So black indicates 0. But it doesn't really matter actually. You can actually just reverse the texture. I'm just gonna type in iPhone. It's the wrong font. So find the right font or a similar one. I'm just gonna go with this basic Arial. And yep. Can place it in the center. Maybe you should get some proper size because you can't really change it in Maya. Yeah, I hope that will work, and I'm just gonna export the image as PNG file. You should export it as PNG because we're going to use alpha channel for the roughness map. But if you export it as JPEG file or something that doesn't contain alpha channel, it won't work. So I'm just gonna call it alpha. Yep. If we're done, we can go back to this guy, and we already assigned the material. And again, I'm just gonna UV wrap this, unwrap this, and I'll probably scale it down, and I'll x-axis. And now what I can do is I can connect something to the roughness port, and we got this texture. And if I open this up, basically you see nothing. It's really important to turn on alpha luminance because we're using alpha channel. Now we see something, and I noticed the rotation is wrong as well, so I'm just going to rotate it in the UV editor. So now we see something. Now as you can see, the this area is reflective like that. That's good. Now I'm just gonna scale the UV to get the right proportion, really. I think the text is too big. So in this case, you can actually just resize it in the Photoshop. This small should work. And you can just make changes in Photoshop like that. And you can just export it again as the same file. If you do that, you will be able to see the changes when you press reload button. There we go. I think it's a bit stretched in the X direction, so yeah, get the right proportion again. Yeah. Honestly, I'm not really sure what's right. I'm just doing it. So yeah, the Apple logo's done, but I also want to deal with the metalness. So what I can do is, if I go to the hypershade, if I take a look at this metalness channel, actually metalness is inverse to the actual roughness. It is going up actually to make it more reflective, so we should reverse it. So it won't let you connect the alpha channel, so I'm just gonna connect it in the input X, and you can grab output X and connect it to metalness, and this will work like that. Now I can bring back my class. It's not really visible in the viewport, but it will be in the final render view. Let's check this out. Yeah, obviously it's there. And probably if you don't want that crystal clear glass, you can just lower the transmission weight so you see more reflections actually. And yeah, last but not least, I'm just gonna create a camera, and yeah, I'm gonna make it simple. I'm not really sure what Apple's gonna do next year, but I'm just gonna make it like this with different rotation. I'm really wondering how this is gonna look like. So to make it look more like an Apple device, I'm just gonna apply another bevel there. Alright, another bevel there. Okay, and assign materials as well. I'm just gonna use two different finishes as well. Alright, now I can extrude it again. And recess a little bit. For that part, maybe chrome. Yep. And for the central face, probably glass. I mean, it should be glass. So it's AI standard surface 5. Again, my organization skill is so bad. So AI standard surface 5 there. Yeah, it's got glass now. You can check this out in the render view. There we go. I just noticed that the edge is not chrome at all. Something's wrong with it. By the way, I just want to save this in. I just got a strong feeling that it's gonna crash real soon. So I'm just gonna call it iPhone. Yeah, should be okay. Well, let's try assigning material again, like that. Or I think it's a good idea to go with single finish there. Alright. I think Apple's never gonna do this. It looks really weird. Yeah, it looks weird. Probably I'm gonna stick to the original design. I think it was about this big. Okay. Alright. What did I miss now? So for the camera hole, you can actually use the same technique as you did on the body. You can just make some holes and model camera lenses. You can do it by scaling the sphere and things like that. So if I do a quick render, this is what you see. Of course, it's not a production ready type of work, but yeah, you get the basic idea of the design. Yeah, I actually don't like the wallpaper here. Let's break the connection. I'm just gonna make it dark. So you see the reflections like that. If you don't like the reflection, you can actually rotate the actual sky dome light, or can make some changes to the ramp node. Or we can actually use some professional HDR environment maps, but I don't have a decent one at the moment, so let's try something else. More sharp reflections like that. You can choose diagonal ramp, for example. It's got more sharp, just like that. Increase the frequency, you will see more dynamic reflections. And you might notice the reflection is kind of low resolution, so if you want to increase it, you can go to resolution section in the sky dome light shape node and increase it to like 4000, for example. And it will take some time and slow you down, slow your scene down, but it should be better in the final render. Now it's got more smoother reflections. All right. Okay, I think that is all for my tutorial. Yeah, before I finish, I just want to see how it looks like with some HDR. But I don't have one right now. Boom. That's Google one actually. Studio HDR. Yeah, I think actually you can use something like that. And I actually want to use non-commercial use one. It's really hard to find some decent one for free. Actually, this is what I uploaded. I'm just gonna use this. It's not JPEG file. Alright, I'm just gonna use this one. Okay. If I open this up, yeah, probably it's better. So basically, this is how you work on a concept art of a phone or any electronic devices. So I hope you enjoyed my tutorial, and thanks for watching.